Okay, good evening everyone. Welcome back to another session for information technology for logistics. And today I'm actually still at the sale and purchase slides because I just want to take care of this last topic. It's called the POS. It's called point of sale. Usually point of sale meaning it applies to the business that has retail. Retail meaning you sell, you had a shop or you open a restaurant and then the customer comes in one by one or and then you sell things one by one. You don't sell things in bulk, which is in contrast to what we call the business to business selling, like B2B, when you make a deal of, like I want to sell this for 1,000 pieces and then you ship the whole thing to your customers, right? So that's more like a wholesale manner, right? So think about this, the flow that we just learned, that we learned last time. If you want to sell something, you got to do sales order, you got to do sales invoice, you got to do delivery note, and then you have to do payment. So basically there are 4 things you have to do for each of the transaction. And if you only have that flow available in your disposal, that means that if you open a retail shop, customer come in buy 1 pen, you got to do 4 documents. It doesn't work that way. So that's why the POS is something that you might want to look into for the business that mostly retails. Okay? So we're going to do that. So right now, so first off, let's open your ERP Next instance. Mine would be Tech08. Let me know if you cannot log into your system, okay? Okay, so first thing, if you want to sell something, let's check if you have things to sell first. So why don't we go to maybe stock balance, actually stock summary, okay? That would be the simplest thing. So open your stock summary. Okay, so right now I have lots of pens. Can you find it? Stock summary. Usually I just type it in here. So right now I have lots of pens, so I'm good to go. If you don't have it, you might need to buy it. So let me know first before we go that you have something to sell. Okay, I mean the dialog box is kind of blocking. So right now I have 460, right? The one in the parenthesis is the one that I opened the sales order. So I need to deliver it because I have the pending sale order from last week. That's why there's a 100 number in it in the parenthesis. Okay, so make sure you have something to sell and make note of where it is. So right now, where it is called store. Okay. So that is the warehouse. Okay, so we'll talk about it in the inventory module, but this is where it is. Okay, if it's not store, remember that name. Okay. Okay, so next off, we're gonna create the customer because usually when we have retail, we don't really care who they are. We just want to track the sales, right? So we're gonna create the dummy customer called walk-in customers. Okay, so why don't we go to customer list? Okay, and I mean, we created customer, I created one last week, so let's create a new one. Let's add customers. And I'm just gonna say walk-in customer, that's all. You can name it any way you want, but this one, I really don't care who they are, but I just want them, a name for it, okay? So I got the walk-in, that's all. Okay. Okay, so next up, we're gonna create what is called the profile, right? Because when you do the point of sale, there are many options that you might wanna set. And if you have to set that every time you you sell, then it's kind of tedious. So let's create something called the profile, okay? So we're gonna, so actually the POS, menu is in the selling, and it should be somewhere around here, right? There's a POS settings, open and close, right? But the thing is that I don't see the one I want in here. I don't know why. It doesn't, oh, actually, it's right here. The point of sale profile. So that's what I want. Okay. Okay, so POS profile, and we're gonna create a profile like that. Okay. So this one, think about it, just a template, just to get all the options ready. So next time it's quicker. Okay. So the name can be anything. So I'm gonna do like POS profile 1. Doesn't really matter what it is. Okay. Okay, so the important thing is where are you going to sell things from? So that's why I asked you to remember where is your warehouse. Like mine is called store. You should have store right here. Like I think most of you should have store. But if you don't, then you're not going to see your stuff in here, right? So store, okay? And the company, you should have just one company, but you may have more than one company to sell it from, okay? And usually you don't have to set any of this, but if you want to be very specific, then you may set the customer that you want to sell it to, okay? So this one is the user. So this one it's nice to set it because sometimes, so think about a bigger system where you have a lot of users, then you might want to restrict user for a certain type of user that can do the point of sale. So this is where you can set such things. For example, I might just add a row, right? And then I'm just going to add the admin. I think you just have admin. If you haven't added any user, you should have yourself, basically. But you may add more user that you want to restrict the POS activity to this profile, right? And I think you gotta tick defaults in here, or else it's gonna complain. So let's tick the default, okay? And then another thing is how are your customers gonna pay? So let's keep it simple. We're gonna do cash, right here. And then you may, if you want later, you can add more payment type in it, like QR code scan or anything like that. So let's keep it simple right now. And again, you gotta tick one default, okay? It needs one default type of payment. If you have more, that's fine, but one default. So let's tick defaults in here, okay? And here it's another more options, but one thing that might be useful is this one. Allow user to edit rates. So as you're gonna see in the POS, you can restrict the user permission. For example, like without anything ticked, right? Then the seller actually cannot set the price of the items. So just for me to demonstrate that, I want you to tick this one so that you can experiment with like different prices for the same item while you are still doing the point of sale. So let's allow the user to set your selling price, okay? And if you want, you can also set discount if you want. Let's try that, okay? And there are other things that you can do. Maybe we're not going to explore it here. It's minor details, okay? And I think that would be it. Actually, one more thing, very important, write-off account. So the write-off is something that kind of like a loss. In Thai would be บัญชีปัดทิ้งอะไรประมาณเนี้ย So the write-off accounts mean that if something doesn't match up, it's a loss to your system. For example, if you do the POS, right? You had 600 baht at the beginning, right? You have the change for 600 baht, and then you sell things for 200. You expect the end of the day to have 800 baht, but for some reason your cash register only have 750. Like though maybe you make the wrong change, maybe you drop something, or maybe your money got stolen, so you get 50 baht as the loss. That loss is going to be recorded as expense in what is called the write-off account. So the term write-off in accounting is just the expense of stuff that we don't know where it comes from. For example, like loss in the system, theft, human error, and things like that. So it's quite common in the retail to have some mismatch between what you expect and what's actually happened, like the amount of money at the end of the day. So it's going to get recorded in here, okay? So luckily, the system actually create that specific account for you, so you don't have to create it by yourself. It's called, as you can guess, write-off. So it should just type write, and then you should be able to see the write-off account. So this account resides in the expense in the accounting category, because this one is your loss, it's your expense. Okay, and also cost center. We're probably not going to go to cost center in this class, but briefly, cost center is something that you can use if you have multiple products and you want to track each product separately in terms of cost, the profits, and manufacturing costs and things like that. It's called the cost center, meaning you group things together in terms of your accounting, so that you can view them as if it was a different company. But within the same company, you can break things down into multiple cost center for easier, I guess, analysis, okay, in terms of accounting. But we only have one cost center, so let's just choose it, okay? Oh, and that's about it. So this is the settings, right? So we're gonna save it. Okay, and it's done, right? So profile is the template, and then we're going to use that template to start the POS. It's called the opening, right? So think about POS like this. When you start the day, you, as the owner, you might give one of your clerk, your cashier, like maybe I give you 600 baht for change, and the cashier, you know, like had 600 baht put into the cash register, and then do some selling, the retail point of sale. And at the end of the day, the cashier is going to count all the money and return you all the money from the cashier. So when you give the cashier 600 baht for change, you open the POS, you open the point of sale for that day. And when the cashier returns you the money, including the sale of the items, that's called the closing. So the closing and open doesn't have to be within a day. It can be any period that you see appropriate for your duration of your point of sale. Usually a day would be the best, I guess the best way, okay? So we're gonna open the point of sale, okay? All right, and to do that, let's just search from here. It's called POS, opening entry. This one right here. Okay, so this one you're gonna give somebody the key to the cash register now. Okay, so I'm gonna create new opening entries. Okay, again, so let's say today I assign somebody to sell things from the cash registers. I just say today, and then the time too, right? But just keep it simple. Right now, it's okay, okay? And then the only thing is you have to choose the profile, right? So here's the thing, like each profile, that will be each user. I mean, you can restrict each user, right? So maybe you have one profile for one type of user, the other profile for a different type of user. So that's why the profile is for, okay? And all this payment methods or the write-off account will be automatically filled in. Okay, so profile one, okay? And in that particular profile, if there's any user that you want, you can choose accordingly. But I think right now, there's only one user in that profile, which is yourself. So let's do yourself, all right? And then here, I think it's going to pull things from the PS profile. And here's the thing, right? Normally, you would want some money in the cash register for change, especially for cash. So that's where you put it in. So let's give the cashier some change money. For me, I'll give them 2,000 baht. That's the opening amount, okay? All right, let's go. So we're gonna save it, and we are going to submit. Okay, so after you submit your opening, that means the point of sale is actually ready. So I mean the cash register is ready to be in operations. And here's the thing. Here's so weird things about this is that I don't see the actual button to trigger the point of sale. Like, I don't know why it's not there. Like, what kind of, I'm wondering why, because if I were to look into the selling and look in here, there's nothing that I can click to open that point of sale page per se. Like, I gotta type it in here, which I find it very strange. Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't put it in here for easy navigation, but how you do it is like POS, open point of sale. Like, this menu is hidden. Like, I don't know why. Like, who came up with this design? It's so weird, but you may click it. Okay, just like that. Okay, and if you go into any retail shop in in Chiang Mai nowadays, you're probably gonna see something like this from the vendor, like POS, like POS something, Wong Nai, or something like the green one, the orange one, and there are like a couple of vendors that offer this type of services. Okay, so this is similar, right? But actually less functionality than those vendors, because they specialize in POS, so they do have a lot of nice functionality. But this one is I guess it's functional enough to do like retails. So why don't we sell something? So I have a service, it doesn't count, right? This one I had it last time for tax, but I'm gonna sell pens, okay? And the price is 20 baht per piece, right? So first thing, you have to click the customers. So let's do walk-in, okay? And then you can start selling it by just clicking here, right? And now you can, if you have more, if you click more, then it will just populate this this panel right here. So you may click more, okay? Just experiment. Like, if I were to click service, then you'll see service happening here, but I don't want it, so I'm gonna click here, and then I'm gonna delete it, like removed it here, right? So this Windows is actually designed for like iPad, for example. So you can open this in your phone or in your iPad, and then that kind of resembles the monitor that you would usually use in your POS from the commercial vendors. Okay? So let's just sell something. I'm gonna sell maybe, I don't wanna keep clicking this. I'm gonna click here, and I'm gonna change the quantity. Like, I can even type it here, like I'm gonna sell 20, okay? And here's the thing, I can adjust the price, and this happens because of the settings that I told you to tick in the profile, because I tell you that the user can change the rate, and the rate is the price of the item. So I have the permission to increase it to be 20 baht, 21 baht, something like that. And I also have the permission to make some discount, because I set that in the profile. So as you can see that you can come up with different profiles depending on who the cash register is, right? Okay, so maybe I'll just do, I don't know, 5% discount or something, right? And then it's gonna tell you how many are left in the warehouse. And if you're done, you may just check out. Okay, like that. Okay. And once you check out, this is the page where you can print out the receipt. Usually you gotta give like a receipt from the small printer. And this is where you can, wait, maybe not here, but you have to type complete order. I think complete order here, and yes. Okay. And this one you can print the receipt. And if you connect this, I guess this web browser to the thermal printer, you can do the actual receipt printing from here. Okay, and if this system is connected to the email provider, which I haven't set it up for you guys, you may email the receipt as well. Okay, and actually this is done in terms of the sales cycle, because this means that the sales order, the sales order, invoice, and the delivery has been done within this steps. So why don't we just sell some more to the new customers, right? I'm gonna do new order. Like, why don't everyone just maybe do at least couple sales, okay? So I'm gonna do another walk-in customers, because I don't really care who they are. I wanna sell some more, okay? This one, right? And then I'm gonna do checkout. Okay, and if you don't need any adjustment, just do complete order, right, like that. Okay, and then just new order again, and just sell some more to the customers. Maybe you can change customer too, like if you already have, I don't know, your usual customer comes up, then that might be something you want to keep track of. Okay, I'm just sell like that, and then check out another time. So within, you know, like a minute or so, I already sell 3 things, right? Within the, so it's that's the point of the POS, because you don't have to click a lot. It's good for retail. Okay, so I sell 4 things, for example.
You could also sell the service here, right? You could also sell the service.
You can sell service too.
Okay.
So normally what you want is you want to separate things into different warehouse so that this doesn't come up.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's about your organizations. Yeah. Doesn't come up. ได้ไหมครับ จะเปลี่ยนจำนวนก็ต้องไป edit card ใหม่ครับแล้วก็น่าจะไปกดตรงนี้ครับแล้วก็ไปแก้จำนวนตรงนี้ครับประมาณนั้นนะครับ But to be frank, we tried this on iPad and phones already, but it's not the most, I guess, the most intuitive experience because it's still think that we still use mouse. So it's not the most seamless experience like, you know, when you would buy things from the commercial vendors, but it's serviceable. In my opinion. So that is something that I think might need some more improvement in the future. So this POS thing is, I guess, a little bit lacking compared to the commercial standard, okay? And something that when I actually talk to the real retail store, this is probably one of the most concerning aspects of the implementation. Like POS is not as user-friendly. Yeah. But for retail store that sells maybe like macro, I talked to another business that sell wholesale like macro, but not as big as macro. This is okay for them. But then for like a really the actual like grocery store, this is not as user-friendly as the commercial one. Okay, are you guys done? So if you're done, right? So let's close this sessions, meaning that you count all the money in the register and then give it back to the owner. That's at the end of the day. Okay, that's how you close it. Okay, so the way that you close this is that once you're done with this, I think you should end up with this page, right? Because you don't want to open any new order, right? And what you can do, there's a button here, and then you can see that there is the menu called Close the POS. Let's do just that. Okay, let's do it. Go. So you will be greeted with another information. So first thing is that you can inspect all of this, right? But what you might want to do is, I mean, the most important thing is this one, right? Remember that like for me, I sell it 4 times. So that's why I have 4 invoices, right? And this is quite convenient because I don't have to create the sale order every time. It's kind of created automatically and combine them into the bundle, okay? And another thing is that these are the money that the cashier should return to you, right? I start with 2,000. I expect this much, right? So I gotta be closing with much. But then why do I have this number? Like, for example, like if you, so right now, I don't know how this number come in, but this is not the number that I expect, right? So that means that something is wrong. So if nothing is lost, right, if you do it correctly, then the closing amount should be the expected amount. So let me just do this first. I don't know how this one come about, 2639. Maybe it's because of the discount. Could be the discount. Yeah. If you give the discount, that discount is gonna go to the write-off for sure, right? If you are a cashier, just give you a discount for no reason, then that's something your company has to pay for in terms of the expense. So I think that's why the number is right there, okay? But again, if you get right here, so if you close the amount with the expected sale, that means that there's no difference. So that means you got all the money you're supposed to get, right? And this is where the write-off come in, because usually it's very possible that when your cash register might not return things correctly, like give wrong changes. So that means that you might not get the right amount, and then that's your expense. So that's where you track it, okay? So I'm gonna keep it, I don't know, I don't remember that number, but I'll just keep it like this, okay? Anywhere you want, okay? So if you're done with this, then you can save it and then submit. Okay, so this is like one day, right? And then tomorrow, you're gonna have to open it again. Like, or maybe if you do it in the period of a week or so, then you gotta open it again once you open the cash register and start with the new opening amount, something like that. Mm-hmm. So just for the, I guess, academic reason, just go into the general ledger, just to see what happened to our accounting ledger, right? So let's go to report general ledgers, just to check on the accounting stuff again. Okay. And here, we're gonna see that if you scroll down to the, I guess, very bottom, you wanna take a look at the date, the today's date, which is the 8th of December. Right? As you can see that within, you know, the time period of the POS, a lot of things has actually happened in the accounting ledgers, right? So there are, you know, change of stocks from your assets, and then it moved into the customers, and these are the cost of your goods, it's expense, and the changing the cash, you got more cash, and then there's a debtor, which means the customer, but then the debt's actually paid off right away. So this means that you don't create any debt, right? Because it's almost like creating the sale invoice and payment at the same time. So it becomes zero at the end. And then there's also more sales and then more. So as you can see, like if you were to do this with the normal sales cycle that you do last week, it will be really, really time consuming. But this one, it kind of handles everything for you automatically. So I think that's kind of nice. And again, if you talk to the business or came up with your own imaginary business, probably this thing might need to be in your, I guess, in your workflow, okay? You gotta sell something, right? That's the most important thing about business, sell something, okay? Anything else that you, and again, if you want to be more, like you can try, like I tried it already. So I create like multiple users, and I can create opening of the POS at the same time. So imagine you have multiple stores, that's also possible. You can do like a more elaborate setup, like multiple warehouses, and then multiple opening profile. Each user got their own warehouses to sell and things like that. And if you try, you can sell until your warehouse gone, and then they're not allow you to sell more. So it's actually track your inventory for you. The POS does not allow oversell. So it's a pretty nice way to keep track of things as long as the number is correct. So sometimes the number is not correct and you gotta fix something first. So we'll do that, okay?